Esto es Fun Hate y en esta ocasión estamos con Amy Lee de Evanescence. Ellos estarán presentándose esta noche en Guadalajara. Hi Amy, how are you?
I'm good. Good to be here.
Thank you very much for your time and thank you very much for the interview. In this album, The Open Door, I know that you experiment a lot in this album. For example, I know that the strings were recorded in a chapel. Why do you decide to do that? Because of the sound, the acoustic?
It was the acoustics. It's cool. You can do something in a dry studio and then add all of the reverb and effects in the computer, or you can do it for real. And it just made sense to do it for real, and have the beauty and the ambience of the church. It just made sense. It sounds good.
There's an amazing song called Lacrimosa. Can you tell us something about the song when you came with the idea to combine all those elements?
Well, we'd sort of toyed around with it many years ago and thought about it, and I always have loved that song. Mozart was my first big musical inspiration. So, and Lacrimosa is my favorite piece of classical music. So, I just always thought it would be so cool to take it and combine all of these different instruments and elements and try just experimenting with it and have fun with it and make it into something heavy, because I think it's the whole Requiem obviously has so much heaviness in it. So yeah, I didn't even really think it would work. I was just playing around with stuff in Pro Tools, and then it became a song that I really love and a lot of other people love too. So I have to give credit to Mozart, though. I didn't write the cool part.
The feelings I can sense in the lyrics and the music, I can tell that recording this album was cathartic for you?
Yeah. Writing music in general, it is. That's really how the band started for me. Just writing music because it felt good, just like writing in a journal or writing poetry or whatever. And then music became like this obsession, because the more I did it and the more I let out, the better I felt. So yeah, it's sort of my little addiction.
And The Open Door is now 1 year old. We have here The Open Door.
It is.
How have things been going with both the album and the road?
Good. Wow. We've been all over the world this time. We went the first time to many countries with Fallen, but this time we went to even more. Went to Africa and Russia, all over Europe and Scandinavia and South America, and we haven't ever been to Guadalajara before. We've only played Mexico City, so this is a new thing too, and we're really excited to be here. And the album is great. I love the album. I think it's doing pretty well.
Can you tell me who is your ultimate female rock icon for you, and why?
Rock icon. See, it's hard. Bjork is my biggest idol. I don't know if that really counts as rock. It's alternative, but I'm gonna have to just say her anyway, because she does rock. She's incredible. She's incredible live. She's an incredible innovator and writer. And has an incredible voice. So, Bjork.
And I know that in the chorus for Lithium, you wrote them when you were like 16,
Yeah.
right? Is there any other music from in those years that could become songs in the future?
It's possible. Doubtful as always, but it's possible. I carry around a little tape recorder, and once in a while, if I just get an idea in my head, I'll just record it into the little tape recorder and save it for later. Because I really write best when I'm at home. So I've got all these little tapes full of stupid little ideas, that I've had on tour or wherever we are. So I guess once we finish touring and I start getting into writing again, I'll just pull out the tape recorder and start playing with it. That's really what happened with Lithium. I had it on a old cassette and I remembered it and I'd written it down. But it's changed. Of course I changed it a lot from what I had when I was much younger.
And right now there's a lot of female front metal bands. What do you think about that? And I don't know, what do you think about the idea of maybe making a global tour with all those bands that are having success? And metal is always with male in the front of the bands,
Right.
but now women are in front and they are showing that they can take a metal band like yours. For
It's a good thing. I think it's very cool. I think it's very cool because women have so much emotion, and it's weird that there would be a genre that is so dominated, not just metal but rock too, so dominated by men, when it's all about the emotion and the passion and the anger or whatever angst you're throwing into it. That's the whole point, especially of metal. It's heavy and horrible and everything's horrible and bad. Chicks go through that a lot, arguably more. So I feel like it makes sense to have a female in front of a band with heavy music. Would we ever do a big tour? I feel like we're a lot different than a lot of the bands that I think you're talking about. But that could be fun. No, I don't think so.
Well, let's see what happens in
Yeah, we'll
future.
see.
Yeah,
Open
yes.
mind.
Right. And now, can you tell us about the songwriting with Terry? When you started songwriting with him, and did you know, did you have an idea immediately how the songwriting would flow so well?
It really, you can't predict what's going to happen in writing, and I guess I was a little bit nervous because I was excited to really have the control. With the first writing and the first album, and before that it was with Ben, and he was very much controlling about what we would make, and the things that I put into it, I was constantly having to sort of compromise with what he wanted. So it felt so good to have the freedom to just go for it on the open door and do whatever I wanted and not try to make every song a single, you know. And I just got lucky with Terry because I knew what I could bring to the table, but I didn't know what he would bring, or any of the other band members. We all tried to write together, and Terry turned out to be just this gem of a writer and a really open-minded person and innovative writer. Like, he just encouraged me to try things that we'd never heard before. So we just got lucky.
Is there any influence that you and Terry share, musical?
Yeah, absolutely. I think more than that, though, we actually kind of pushed our influences on each other. Like, now he likes and appreciates Bjork, and now, like, I like and appreciate Pantera. So it's funny. But we do like some of the same bands. We're both definitely influenced by Depeche Mode and what else? U2 and The Cure, and there's a lot of bands that we definitely share that we like.
And I know that Danny Elfman is also one of your influences. You name it sometimes. Have you ever considered in making the score for a film in a future, maybe?
I would love to. I that's something that I've always wanted to do. That's been one of my big goals and dreams, besides this whole rock band thing. So I would love to get into that. I feel like it could be a great thing to do between albums.
And sometimes people ask you what advice you could give to the new bands that are starting music, but what advice do you wish you had received when you started in music?
Oh man, so much. Wow. Just to trust myself more. There's so many people giving you their opinion on your music and what you should be doing and everything else. In the beginning, when you start getting into it, you're like, oh wow, we're going to be a big band. They must know, they've been in the industry longer. They don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what makes people love music except the people. Like, I know what I like to listen to, and that's how I know how to write. Because I write what sounds good. That's it. Like, trust your instincts, trust what you think about your band and your music and your writing, and don't listen to anybody else.
Well, that's already good advice. And well, talking also about, is there any process that you use to in approaching songwriting together?
You just can't make a plan. I think you really just have to let it happen the way it happens. Every song is a little bit different with the way that it's written. Sometimes it's just me alone at the piano and something comes out and then we build the rest of the song together, and sometimes it's Terry playing with the guitar, or we're on Pro Tools together playing with drum beats and then putting layers on top of it. So you just have to go into it with an open mind and not try to force yourself.
Well, Amy, thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for the interview. Is there anything else you want to add, some message for the Mexican fans?
We're just stoked to be here playing, finally. It's going to be an awesome show. Thanks for having us. We'll see you there.